Hello, and thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to be walking through my medium fidelity prototype for an application I am building within the OMSCS class for human-computer interactions. And this application is effectively supposed to help with real-time translation using augmented reality as well as generative AI to help provide context and also provide responses on how to respond to a conversation. I'm going to go ahead and just kick off the scenario and demonstrate how this effectively works. So you would start off on this landing page that basically states, you're meeting up with a friend or a relative you've never met before. And effectively, the task is to communicate with them about the weather. There's two different interfaces that you can leverage. There's a simplified version as well as an advanced one that gives you more feature sets like generative AI responses. And the contexts you can actually provide to the AI will give you different recommendations based on subcategories of factual, agreeable, creative, and assertive. And the action is basically use this tool to be able to just go through the exercise, navigate through the screens, and have a successful conversation. As a result, you'll find out what the weather is and what you'll do about it. So as you walk through this, there's a series of red boxes that effectively act as tutorial guides. They're not necessarily a part of the application itself, but it's just helped to provide more context on how to walk through. So you're speaking in English, but they can't understand you. Have you seen the weather yet? Take out your phone and check. So you take out your phone and it loads. All right, so now you have the phone open. There's two different options, and by default, the standard simplified UI is what's provided. So we just click on the screen here, and now you can see they're speaking in Spanish, and it's coming across on your screen on the top of the screen. It's been translated and transcribed into English, and now that audio is actually coming through, and you can hear it on your device. So it seems to be sunny outside. And then you're basically transcribing your words into Spanish, and they say, okay, let's go outside, right? So that's the first scenario. Now we're going to go ahead and test out in the other mode. Before we do so, just a couple of things. We have like the language settings. You can download the language, etc. And there's other settings in here as well for configuring your device and some privacy and security settings. So if we go over to the advanced settings, now we're speaking and we're saying, I don't want to go outside. We go ahead and click continue. And this box basically says, it's telling us how to use this special feature that provides context to the LLM to provide suggested outputs. So creative, assertive, agreeable, and factual. Let's go ahead and click creative, right? So now it's giving us some examples that matches up with our I don't want to go outside. So you can either tap your finger on one of these items to have that then translated to them, or if you're trying to practice the language, you can actually click here and speak yourself. Instead, I'm just going to go click, say, I'm a vampire. I don't want to go outside. So it actually provides the output, and then it's spoken to that person. And along the way, if you hadn't noticed, the app actually has built-in note-taking feature, which is actually an input for creating suggestions. So then they respond. They're speaking in Spanish. It says, if only I brought a larger coat to lend you. So the notes are basically saying, we're not going outside right now. So that's the whole scenario. You can go through it again and test out some of the other colors. Assertive, right? Same thing. Effectively the same output. So consider it done. You've had your first conversation with AR, and you can go ahead and start the exercise over again if you want to.